3 p.m. Every day, the clock makes the same announcement. It doesn't tell me the time, it tells me what I am supposed to be doing. 3 p.m. means the activity hour. 3 p.m. means I am supposed to be in the recreation hall, watching Mrs. Higgins try to find the blue bingo marker for the 9th time this week. It means standard issue apple juice in a plastic cup with a lid. People think when you get to this age, you lose your mind. I haven't lost my mind. I know exactly where it is. It's back in 1954, dancing at the Oceanview gazebo on the boardwalk. It's holding Eleanor's hand, smelling the salt water and her cheap perfume. I made her a promise that night. 70 years ago tonight. I told her we'd dance at that gazebo for our platinum anniversary. 70 years? And Eleanor, being Eleanor, believed me. She kept it written on the calendar. July 14th, 2024. Platinum. His voice gains a sudden, steel clarity, but Eleanor isn't here anymore. She left 5 years ago. Which means I am the only one left to keep the date. And at Oakhaven Manor, they don't let you out past 7 p.m. They say it's for my safety. But what they really mean is, it's more convenient for them if I am safely locked up, slowly disappearing. Today, I decided I'm done disappearing. I have a 10 p.m. date at the oceanfront. Escaping Oakhaven isn't like breaking out of Alcatraz. It's worse. You aren't fighting concrete and steel, you are fighting pity and routines. Every door is alarmed. Every hallway has a camera. And at my speed, a camera doesn't need to catch me. It just needs to record my very, very slow departure. I needed an accomplice. Someone young enough to be reckless, and old enough to know how to break the rules. Enter Sam. Sam is 22. He works the night shift as an orderly. He usually looks exhausted, jaded, like the world has already defeated him. He spends his breaks scrolling through his phone in the laundry room. He's the only one who doesn't use that special talking to a toddler voice when he speaks to me. I found him near the service entrance. Hey Sam, I said, leaning hard on my cane. You look like you need $50 and a reason to give this place the finger. He looked up, one eyebrow cocked. Mr. Vance, it's 8:30 p.m. Why are you near the loading bay? Operation Midnight Waltz. I told him. I need out. For 2 hours. Tonight. He laughed, but then he saw my face. He saw the calendar entry I'd folded and kept in my shirt pocket. July 14th. He read it. You're crazy, Arthur. If Nurse Miller finds out, I'm fired. If we succeed, Sam, Nurse Miller will be too confused to be angry. Besides, I added, sliding a $50 bill, the only cash I had, across the metal laundry counter. When was the last time you were part of something legendary? The plan was stupidly simple. Which is why it might work. Phase 1 Misdirection. Every night at 9:15, Nurse Miller goes to the medicine closet. She locks it, but she leaves the key on the hook by the main desk for exactly 3 minutes while she checks on Mr. Henderson's CPAP machine. Phase 2, the asset acquisition. Sam had to snag the service entrance key. The one that bypasses the main alarm panel for deliveries. This key is normally guarded like the crown jewels. But today was laundry day. The delivery driver, a man named Bob who always seemed to be running late, often left the service door propped open with a fire extinguisher while he moved the carts. Sam's job was easy. He just had to not be looking when I swiped Bob's master ring off the cart handle. I missed on the first try. My fingers are arthritic, slow. They felt like they belonged to someone else. Bob was already coming back around the corner. If he saw me, the whole thing was over. I forced my hand to move. I gripped the ring. I pulled. Success. Phase 3, the disappearing act. I had to be in bed by 9 p.m. That was the rule. So I went to bed. I put 2 extra pillows under the blanket, shaped them like a body, and pulled the sheet up to the chin. It was the oldest trick in the book, but at 9 p.m., the hall monitors are tired. They don't check for pulses, they check for shadows. At 9:30 p.m., the facility was quiet. The only sounds were the breathing machines and the distant, constant hum of the HVAC system. It was time. I got out of bed. My back screamed in protest. Every joint clicked. I had to ditch the pajamas. I put on my one good suit, the navy one I wore to Eleanor's funeral. It didn't fit right anymore, loose in the shoulders, but it made me feel like the man I was supposed to be tonight. I grabbed the keys. I grabbed my cane. The door to my room opened into the hallway. The tile felt incredibly cold through my shoes. 200 feet to the service exit. Normally, I can walk that in 2 minutes. Tonight, it felt like 2 miles. Step 1. Breathe. Step 2. Every sound was magnified. My own heartbeat sounded like a drum. I passed Nurse Miller's station. She was looking at a clipboard. The key hook was right there. I had swiped the service master, but I needed her to not notice me. I pressed myself against the wall, trying to become as small as a 92-year-old in a loose suit could be. I made it past her. The final door. The gray, unmarked steel door to the loading bay. My key ring was heavy. My hand was shaking so badly I couldn't get the key into the slot. "Come on, old man," I muttered. "Don't you dare fail her now." The alarm panel chattered for a second, then went green. I pushed the bar. The door opened. And the world rushed in. Air. Real, cool night air. It didn't smell like bleach and floor wax. It smelled like asphalt and adventure. I took a breath, and for the first time in 5 years, my lungs didn't feel constricted. I was free. But I was 92. And the boardwalk was 12 blocks away. I couldn't walk it. My plan stopped at the door. I was standing in the shadows of the loading bay, a runaway senior citizen, with $50. Wait, I gave that to Sam, no cash, and a cane. Suddenly, a headlight washed over me. It was Sam's 2009 Honda Civic. Sam didn't say anything. He just nodded to the passenger seat. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he was bored. Maybe he actually liked me. Or maybe, just maybe, he needed to see someone believe in something enough to break the rules. We drove in silence. We rolled the windows down. We passed the 24-hour convenience stores, the empty schoolyards, the life that was still happening while Oakhaven Manor slept. We got to the boardwalk at 9:55 p.m. The ocean roared. It was dark, but the moon was bright enough. I walked onto the gazebo. The wooden planks groaned under my weight, like they remembered me. It was empty. The paint was peeling, and the grand bandstand was gone, but in the moonlight, it looked exactly the same. 10 p.m. July 14th. I stood in the center of the gazebo. My cane was my dancing partner now. I closed my eyes. The spectral music came from nowhere. Or maybe it came from everywhere. I felt the breeze, and I swear, for just a moment, I smelled that cheap perfume. I felt the hand in mine, light and warm. "You kept your date, Eleanor," I whispered. "I told you I'd be here." I didn't actually dance. My body couldn't. I just stood there, swaying slightly in the breeze, holding on to the ghost of a promise. It didn't matter that the world thought I was crazy, or old, or done. It didn't matter what happened tomorrow. Tonight, I was the man who had kept his word for 70 years. Tonight, I was the man who had escaped the prison of my own age. I wasn't waiting to die. I was living a promise. His voice returns to a quiet, firm calm. Sam drove me back at 11:30 p.m. Nurse Miller was furious, of course. Sam got a suspension. I was grounded to my room for a month. But as I lay in my bed that night, listening to the same grandfather clock announce the seconds of my slow decline, I smiled. They had my body. They had my schedule. They had my apple juice. But Operation Midnight Waltz had been a total success. Because my heart was still down by the ocean, dancing on the boardwalk, a free man in a navy suit. And no one, not even Nurse Miller, could take that away from me.